That brings us to the Calico Kitchen region and the 2012-2013 team, which finished 32-3. Olenek, Harris, Hart, Pangos, Bell, Karnowski, Dower, and Stockton. That's a pretty good bench. Against, from the Edward Jones region, the 2008-2009 team, 28-6, Heitfeld, Day, Downs, Bolden, Pargo, Brown, Gray, and Goodson off the bench. Again, no athletes in these brackets. With that 12-13 team, ranked number 1. I mean, that's a tough team to pick against too, isn't it?
It is a tough team to pick against. The thing that makes you wonder a little bit as you look at these two teams is that was one that kind of came out of nowhere, right? I mean, we didn't know Kelly was going to blow up. I mean, different than this year's team in that, we knew this team was going to be good. You knew it was going to be a top 10 team all year, and, that team came absolutely out of nowhere, which makes it a little more difficult, I think, going against a team. And I think that 08-09 team, as far as Gonzaga is concerned, I mean, when you looked at the group that was coming back, and, you look at 3 seniors and a junior in the starting lineup, and guys, same thing. We go back to, Pargo played a lot as a freshman, Bolden played a lot as a freshman. Austin Day was really coming into his own, and Josh Heitfeld, when he wasn't injured, was playing quite a bit. And then Steven, same thing. Steven played a lot as a freshman. You kind of knew that team was gonna be really good. So I'm not ready yet.
You're not ready.
I'm gonna let everybody else talk for a little while. I can't. I can't
Well, I
commit.
fell asleep in 08-09 again. So
You're not holding that against them.
and I am looking at statistically the 2012-2013 team is better, and we're almost done.
We
So
are
I'm going to
almost
pick 2012-2013.
Well, and the seating committee has given us some helpful intangibles here. And I always wonder, what are tangibles in sport? They always talk about intangibles. What exactly are the tangibles?
The ball.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the ball's intangible. Jim, what do you think? These are teams you know well.
If you picture them playing each other, Heitfeld, Day, Downs, I mean, tremendously skilled,
Great front court.
but not physically. Maybe as the matchup with Olenek and Harris, and just in a sheer physical sense. I think they might be able to bully them a little bit inside, but that's like the other one. That's splitting hairs. That is close.
And the thing too, you almost forget. You look at that 28-6, the stretch of that 6. When you look at it, and you talk about looking at the memorable stuff. The win at Tennessee in overtime.
Right.
That was a Will Foster game.
Yeah.
And that's when, Heitfeld was in foul trouble, and Will Foster came in and played the game of his career, and that was after the Connecticut deal at the battle in Seattle. That was after
three-game losing streak.
Yeah, it was a 3-game losing streak. Lost at Utah, I believe, and it was Portland State in there as well.
Yeah.
You'd lost 3. You were down at Tennessee. You've got your best big, to come back and win. So it's kind of interesting because you look at the 28-6. I guess that team was unstoppable. And I think we've been saying that a lot, but there was a little stretch in there where maybe they showed a little vulnerability. So put that in your decision making.
Fun
Guards in mine, right? I confuse myself again.
Any team that Will Foster has to bail out.
Fun guard matchup in this.
Yeah.
Bolden, Pargo, and Gray against Pangos Bell.
Pangos and Bell, right?
Yeah, I think that's
Stockton.
Stockton. It's
Yeah.
interesting. Some real contrast in game.
It makes you wish a guy like Olenek had finished out. Just when you start playing this imagining game, you imagine Olenek as a senior and what he might have accomplished, the improvement he had. Because, boy, his junior year, he seemed like he could do anything.
Tom, you were around these guys. Did the number 1 business weigh on this 2013 team at the end?
I think it did. I think they tried to ignore it. I think they kind of tried to downplay it.
Mm-hmm.
We get in the sports cliche thing, one game at a time, but it doesn't matter what everybody else is saying, it just matters what we say. And, I think they were pressed with it so much. Do you deserve to be here? Is this, and I think just, you may openly not say, yes, it's bothering us, but, I think from the time that they became number 1 all the way through the loss to Wichita State, even today, right? Today, it's the biggest choke in the history. I think that same year, Duke lost to Mercer at 2-15, and nobody talks about that.
Yeah, right.
We lost to a team that went to the Final Four that I think since they beat us has lost 4 or 5 games total in 2.5 years. And everybody says, Gonzaga choked. And, and I think a little bit it did. And I think you see it this year a little bit. I think there's a little more of we're good and we know it, and we're going to go out and prove it as compared to, back then. I think you're right. And that may have been a difference, right? If you're talking about being in a tournament and it's, and it's close, I think that did, get on them a little bit. I think being in Utah and having people cheer against you whenever we all thought that Gonzaga was the big happy story, I think weighed on them a little bit too.
It did on the court.
Yeah.
I mean, LMU in the tournament, they struggled to beat LMU down at the
That's right.
WCC. Did not play very well against Southern.
Mhm.
But had Wichita State kind of had that game in hand until Wichita State started drop kicking in threes.
Yeah.
And losing Bell.
The
Yeah.
thing about that 13 team, a lot like this team, is there's a consistency there, night in, night out. They have not put out any dog performances. They might have had a bad half,
Right.
but they rescue it pretty good. And that team did the same thing. They did not have a lot of down nights.
And Jeff, they ran into a buzzsaw. That Wichita State team just was playing out of their minds.
Yeah, they were. Clearly went to the Final Four, were
Right.
unbelievably hot that night. Gary Bell gets injured. Like, what could have gone wrong probably did that night. Could have gone right for Wichita State did. You remember watching that game, you're like, Wichita State is good.
Oh,
Yeah.
Take off their jersey and put on Kansas or Kentucky, and
Yeah.
you wouldn't even know. That was by no stretch of a poor team. So, we're splitting hairs here. Number one team right in the country versus that flipping coin, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes what makes the tournament so amazing, it's a 140-minute game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Yeah.
back to Villanova beating Georgetown.
Yeah.
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 Anybody
Yeah.
want, right?
Yeah.
Guess that game?
Right.
Yeah.
So whoever is hot one night, whatever the matchup is, one kid's got the flu,
Yeah.
right? Girlfriend breaks up. Who knows what happens?
Yeah.
But it's one game. It's not a best of 7 series where truly the best team will always win.
Well, and we saw that Wichita State was almost lucky to get out of their first game. I mean, those two teams
Yeah.
combined
Yeah.
was them and Pitt, right? And they combined, they were 3 for 40
Yeah.
shooting threes or something.
Yeah.
And then, less than 48 hours later, they make more threes than they've made in 15 years. You talk about it just game to game, it was incredible. I mean, and who knows if they were watching? We sat there courtside and watched it, and you almost laughed, at how bad it was. And then there you are 2 days later watching everyone go in, and you're right, Jeff. I mean, it's amazing how quick it can turn.
Yes.
Just did you ever lose a game because your girlfriend broke up with you?
I lost every game. All right, I think we're ready to vote.
Are we?
We are. 2008.
Yes, I think I give you my vote for this.
I can't take proxy votes. I'm sorry. I can take cash. We've got the Edward Jones region, the 08-09 team. Now the Calico Kitchen region, the 12-13 team. Everybody voted. Jeff's still voting.
Flip the coin over here.
All right, let's see what we have. 12-13, 12-13,
Ooh.
12-13. Oh, unanimous.
Are you kidding?
Wow.
Oh,
That
I kept wanting
means-
to go to Bolden posting guys up.
We have a final out of the Calico
I
Kitchen
better not
region.
have to break the news to Fargo.
2012-2013 team versus out of the Les Schwab Tire region, the 2014-2015 team. You guys aren't much for history.
I was going to say, there are going to be some upset old dogs out
We've
there.
gone back a total of 2 years.
You don't think Morrison will mention this in practice?
No, and Matt won't mention it to me either on the radio ever.
Well, if you just look at AP rankings, we've managed to pick the 2 highest ranked teams. Right?
Yeah, we're so predictable.
Are these the 2 highest spots? 1 and 3, is that right?
There was another 3, I think.
Yeah, the 2001 or 2002 team got to number 3, didn't they? Or did they?
Dick Austin?
Got to
6, I think.
You got to 6.
6, right.
2005 team, you got to
Yeah.
3.
Morrison
three.
got there.